Your boy Fuzzy got into a beef yesterday with Stephen A. Smith of all people. I am not joking. We talked about why ESPN almost never talks about baseball and things got kind of heated. Corbin Carroll, he made some of the craziest history I've ever heard of from a rookie baseball player. Nick Castellanos, he morphed into MVP Aaron Judge or Mookie Betts versus the Braves yesterday, and the Rangers, yeah, they almost put up 20 runs yesterday. We're going to talk about all of that in today's MLB Recap, and just a reminder, Recap is brought to you by SeatGeek. Use code Fuzzy to save 20 bucks off on tickets, and also Underdog Fantasy is doing a crazy new user special right now. They will match your first $500, and if you combine that on top of the other new user special, Daniel Jones only has to get 1 yard today. It's basically free money. I'm trying to help you guys out. Now, before we talk about the pitcher that was banned and all of the games from yesterday, yes, I got into a small little beef with Stephen A. Smith of First Take. He is the highest paid sports personality in the history of sports personalities, and he basically admitted that ESPN and First Take does not talk about baseball because no one cares about baseball, and then he also had this wonderful message for you guys. So if you want me to break down the full interview, let's try and get this to 2,000 likes, and I'll have a video out for you guys in the next few days because Stephen A. Smith, he did not hold back. It sounds like he hates baseball.
First of all, do me a favor. Tell the baseball community to shut the hell up. Let me
Why
tell you
would
what.
we do that? Why would we do that? I have
whoa!
Speaking baseball.
Whoa! Be quiet. You're going to call up. You're going to ask me a question. Let me answer.
Blasphemous.
I know baseball, the sport. What happens is because I'm so busy with other sports watching it, I don't get to watch as much baseball. But the reason why we don't watch as much baseball, Fuzzy, if you did your homework, is because people don't care ratings-wise when we're watching baseball.
Now, we have some breaking news. A pitcher has been suspended for 162 games. Former Cleveland pitcher and current Milwaukee Brewer, J.C. Mejia, he was banned again for roids. He was suspended for 80 games back in 2022. Now it's a full season, 162 games for the same roid. He has a career 8.3 ERA, so maybe he should take less steroids and work more on his mechanics because he stinks. So because we just talked about J.C. Mejia and the Brewers, we'll talk about what the Brewers did yesterday against the Cardinals. Josh Donaldson, Lord have mercy. That 3-run moonshot nearly went 425 feet, and not gonna lie, Milwaukee, they won this game pretty easy. Tyrone Taylor, he matched his first of 2 on the night, and Adrian Hauser, he's a pretty good 4 or 5 starter. He held the Cardinals to 1 run over 6. There's Tyrone's second of the night, and Mark Canha, he might be the Brewers' best trade deadline move since CC Sabathia like 10 or something years ago. He doubled in 3 more runs. He's hitting .310 with 13 extra base hits and 30 RBIs in his first 42 games as a Brewer. Donaldson, he ended the game with a sick play over at the hot corner. Watch him revert back into the bringer of rain now that he's out of New York. Now, if the Cubs don't win this game, their hopes of winning the NL Central are pretty much all but over. Justin Steele, he gave up 6 runs again, so that's back-to-back starts with 6 runs allowed. He's not going to win the Cy Young, but hey, he didn't walk anyone, so yes, I'm making fun of Cubs fans who are basically saying that Blake Snell can't win the Cy Young because he walks guys. Josh Palacios, he hit full send. That ball went 415 feet, a 3-run tater to make it 7 runs. Jason Triolo had a home run. But here comes the Cubs. The wheels completely fell off for Mitch Keller. Christopher Morel now has 24 home runs, and Ian Happ, he smashed a cookie for a grand slam. He has 33 doubles, 19 home runs, 77 RBIs. That's okay though. Connor Joe, he put this game way out of reach with a 2-run, 413-foot bomb. So the Cubs, they fall to 7 games back of first place, and now they're in danger of losing a wild card spot as well. The Diamondbacks and the Giants faced off. We're going to skip to the 3rd inning. It's a tie game. Corbin Carroll, he's about to make history. That right there is his 50th stolen bag of the season. Now, he did score on an RBI ground out on Alec Thomas. He laced an RBI double right after. Merrill Kelly, he was good again. He went out and carved for nearly 7 frames of 1-run ball against the Giants. The Giants have been scuffling lately. He only allowed 3 base hits the entire night, and there it is, history. Corbin Carroll is the first rookie ever to have 25 home runs and 50 stolen bases in a rookie season. He just turned 23 years old a couple weeks ago. He could put up ridiculous stats if he can keep on doing this over the next 10-15 years. Ketel Marte made it back-to-back, and don't look now, but the Diamondbacks, they won 5 games in a row. The only other team with a better winning streak is the San Diego Padres, and they're going for 7 wins in a row. Starters Seth Lugo and Chase Anderson, they both gave up a pair of runs, with San Diego's second coming all the way in the 7th inning. Chase Anderson, he might be the weirdest pitcher in baseball because he has back-to-back quality starts. His last time out, he went 7 innings of no-hit baseball against the Giants. He almost goes 7 against the Padres, but he has a near 6 ERA on the season. Luis Campsuano, he clutched up again for the Padres, and a sac fly from G-Man Choi. Forgot that Choi was on the Padres. Nando showed that he can cover some serious ground over there in right field. He leads baseball right now in defensive run saves. He has been crazy out there. Josh Hader, he has 31 saves on the season. So with that W, the Padres, They've won 7 games in a row, and they're now just 4.5 games back of a wild card spot. And again, they have the easiest schedule in baseball, where the Giants, it only gets tougher. They've lost 2 in a row. They're 3 games back of the wild card. Nick Castellanos is legitimately having a really, really good season. There's a solo home run in the 2nd inning, and then a 2-run home run in the 4th. He's up to 64 extra base hits and 99 RBIs. Aaron Nola, he struck out 8 hitters over 6. Aaron Nola is also kind of weird because he experiences ups and downs over the course of his career. In 2020, he had a 3.2 ERA. Then the next year, he had a 4.6 ERA. In 2022, he lowered it to a 3.2. The next year, in 2023, a 4.6. So that means he might win Cy Young in 2024. Now, here's where Nick Castellanos came in clutch again. So the Braves, they kind of inched their way back into this one, and they're going to go ahead and take a lead. No, they're not, because Nick Castellanos says no. He threw a seed to end the threat. Announcers were saying, no, do not catch it. Let it go foul because you're not going to throw out. Well, he did throw him out. Time for some free baseball. And my friend Bryson Stott, he poked one the other way for a 2-run double. Matt Strahm, he sealed it for his 10th save. And the Braves, they just keep on losing. But again, shout out to Bryson Stott, who's having one of the best seasons by any second baseman that I've seen in quite some time. We know that Philly is going to make the playoffs, but we can't really say the same about these next 2 teams, the Reds and the Marlins. Who has the juice to rip off a few W's and make the playoffs? We'll talk about the Marlins game after this Reds and Twids game, because even though CES, Christian Encarnacion Strand, launched his 9th home run, he has 3 in his last 4 games, and Hunter Green tossed maybe his best start ever. He had double-digit strikeouts before the 7th inning came around, and he looked nearly unhittable. Willie Castro of the Twins, he's been red hot lately. His solo home run was the only bruise allowed by Hunter Green all night long, who dominated for 14 strikeouts, only 1 walk in a masterclass. Now, the Reds and the Twins traded runs after that, with Edward Julian making it a 1-run game. Scratch that, make it a tie game. Scratch that. It's 5-3 after Kyle Farmer and Jorge Polanco clutched up. Griffin Jax, he got the save. And the Twins, yeah, they're going to win the AL Central, whereas the Reds, I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs. Again, every L is going to feel like 50 L's right now, and the same goes for the Marlins, who can get back into the wild card with a W. It's just rookie Mark Vientos is seeing beach balls lately. He sent one out in the 2nd and another in the 6th inning. But before we show that, we got to show off Jeff McNeil's host piece. He took over defensively, 2 outfield assists in 1 inning. He nabs Jazz Chisholm at 2nd with the host piece and then gets Soler at home. Okay, now we can show Mark Vientos' 2nd home run. He's hitting .310 with 5 home runs over his last 17 games. C-Mets, maybe if you play rookies more often, they can get better. Kodai Senga was not his best self. He allowed 7 hits, 2 walks, only struck out 3, but he's so nasty, he only allowed 2 runs to score. Brett Beatty and Brandon Nimmo, they both went yard to kind of end this game. Brandon Nimmo has 24 home runs and a 126 OPS plus, so let's take a look at the NL wildcard standings. So like we said, the Padres have won 7 games in a row to improve to 4.5 games back. The Giants and the Reds, they keep on losing. The Giants are 3 games back. The Reds are 1 game back. The Marlins lost again. They're a half game back of the Cubs for that final wildcard spot. Now, before I show the AL West and AL wildcard games, there's a few guys I need to focus on in this one. The first is CJ Abrams. The kid ripped a 2-run double. He's up to 25 doubles and 42 stolen bases. Lane Thomas, he cleared everything. The bases, the fences. That's a grand slam. So Lane now has, are you ready for these stats? They might shock you. Lane Thomas has 34 doubles, 26 home runs, 84 RBIs, 19 stolen bases, and he has one of the hardest thrown balls from an outfielder all year long. Like, the dude is a near 5-tool superstar. Dom Smith, another home run. There's another one for Joey Meneses as well. He scores Lane Thomas. Washington is quietly building a terrifying young lineup. They haven't even called up Robert Hassel, James Wood, Brady House. They drafted Dylan Cruz. They're building something pretty sneaky down in Washington. So the Nationals put up 13 runs. The only other team to score more runs yesterday, the Texas Rangers. Texas, they answered monster home runs from Adam Duvall and Bobby Dahl, like monster home runs from Dahlback and Duvall. They both went 430 plus feet. Now Texas, they hit them right back with a 3-run moonshot from Jonah Heim, and then it was back-to-back after Mitch Garver teed off. Jonah Heim has 90 RBIs as a defensive catcher, and Garver has 18 home runs and a stupid 140 OPS plus. From there, it was all downhill for the Red Sox. Texas, they very much are a momentum-oriented lineup. Once they get hot, you cannot stop them. They ran it up to 8 before Adolis ripped an RBI double. There's an RBI double from the extra base machine, Corey Seager. That was in the 5th inning. Josh Young, he's so back, ladies and gentlemen. He's got 23 home runs and 70 RBIs in 112 games as a rookie. Now, staying with rookies, Evan Carter is so dang good. I had no idea that he was 20 when he got called up. He's 21 years old now. That's his 2nd home run. He's also top 3% in sprint speed, so watch out for Evan Carter. And the Rangers, they win huge. So the Rangers almost scored 20 runs. Now, what about the Astros and the Mariners. Seattle, they were taking on Oakland again. We'll show that in a second. Only one man to talk about in Game 3 of the Orioles and the Astros, Kyle Bradish. I told my friends to pick him up before the season. They all owe me steak dinner. He had a 3.2 ERA in the second half of last year, and I saw a lot of spider tack version of Shane Bieber. Good fastball velocity with absolutely devastating mixes of breaking pitches. I mean, look at what he's doing to the Astros. 6 shutout, only 2 base hits, 9 strikeouts. Bradish now owns a sparkling 2.5 ERA over his last 23 starts, and in my opinion, he has the best slider that I've seen since prime Corey Kluber. The sad part is, the Orioles lost this game because Shintaro Fujinami fumbled the bag again. He allowed multiple base runners. That RBI double from Jeremy Pena tied it up, and then he allowed this to happen. Now, usually I show walk-offs at the beginning of today's video, but I wanted to kind of keep it suspenseful. The Astros, they make the comeback. They walk it off on a Maurice Dubon opposite field base hit, and there you go. So Houston and Texas both won their games. Seattle, they're feeling all the pressure right now, but they can breathe a little bit on that mammoth home run. Dominic Canzone, the kid flat out rakes 450 feet. He just has to find some consistency, but he can be very good going forward. Speaking of being very good going forward, rookie infielder Zach Geloff, he now has 19 doubles, 13 home runs, 13 stolen bases in 59 games. He has a 150 OPS plus hello. That's a 30-30 season over the course of 162, by the way. J-Rod, he got that run back. He now leads the AL in hits. He's got 31 home runs, 100 RBIs on the dot, and 36 stolen bases. Just not fair. Cal Raleigh. Now, I might be sounding dramatic, but he now has 29 home runs. He is etching his name into the most powerful catcher conversation. The dude has 38 home runs over his last 162 games. Canzone again with the 2-run extra base hit. He has 16 extra base hits with the Mariners already. I guess I'll show this Brent Rooker home run because he had a 2-run tater. He now has 27 home runs and a 126 OPS plus. That set up a save opportunity for Justin Topa, who got it done. So nothing at all changed in the AL West standings. The Seattle Mariners and the Rangers are both a half game back of first place. So earlier we talked about how Arizona has won 5 games in a row, and Toronto is essentially the AL version of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Bichette, he broke a 0-0 tie in the third, and it stayed 1-0 for a while. Kevin Gausman was pumping, but so was Michael King of the Yankees. These two dudes combined for 20 strikeouts over 13 innings. Gausman, he was insane. 10 strikeouts, only 3 base hits allowed, no runs. Michael King had 13 strikeouts over 7 innings. He has a 1.4 ERA and this is mind-boggling, a 0.45 FIP over his last 5 starts. He has 39 strikeouts over his last 25 innings. Now, it really sucks that he took the tough L because Toronto, they got 2 free runs on bases loaded walks. There was RBI singles from Bichette and Spencer Horwitz. And the Jays, they win back-to-back games to steal the season series from the Yankees. They win 5 of 9. But here's a shout out to Austin Wells. Just like Brent Rooker, we'll give a little shout out to the losing team. That is Austin Wells' first career home run. The Jays, they won 5 in a row. Tampa Bay is really running out of time to catch Baltimore for first place. Now, luckily, the Orioles choked yesterday. But yeah, they had a number put on them by the Angels yesterday. It's pretty cool to see Jared Walsh back in that lineup and driving in runs because he's been through a lot. And I really want to see this duo back in 2024. Zach Neto, he doubled in another run, and Brandon Drury, he teed off for 2 huge home runs, a 3-run home run, and then a 2-run home run. By the way, rookie Nolan Shanuel, he was on base for both of those home runs. He's been on base in 24 consecutive games to begin his career. He is an on-base machine. Drury, he's got 23 home runs and 75 RBIs. If the Angels weren't completely ravaged by injuries, they probably would have a top 5 offense in baseball. Seriously, Zach Neto, Logan O'Hoppe, Mickey Moniak, Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani, Luis Rengifo, Gio Urshela, Anthony Rendon, Max Stassi. All of those players have missed a bunch of games this year. That's insane. From one LA team to another, instead of a base-clearing double, Spencer Torkelson, he had to settle for a sac fly because James Outman went full extension on that play. Now, either way, it's 2-0 Detroit, and it's going to stay that way for a while because this Reese Olson kid of Detroit, he can shove. Aaron Boone, he was praising Reese Olson a few weeks ago, and I can see why, because his lone mistake was a home run to Max Muncy, but Max Muncy, he's a power phenom. He's bouncing back. So no harm, no foul on that one. Reese Olson, he held the Dodgers to 2 base hits over 6 innings. He struck out 5. He has a 1.5 ERA over his last 30 innings. Carson Kelly, he knocked home Parker Meadows to get that Max Muncy run back, and Ibanez, Mr. Andy Ibanez brought in their 4th run. The Dodgers, they end up losing, and not gonna lie, the Tigers, they're looking pretty decent. They're 4 games over 500 over their last 20 games. Not bad. Hey, Kansas City, blank check for this guy. Build the statue right now. The Royals, they they need to extend Nelson Velasquez before I finish this next sentence. He deletes baseballs. Like, everything is 420 to 480 feet. He's got 12 home runs and 25 RBIs in 33 games as a Royal. He has a 150 OPS plus. Bobby Witt Jr., he played another run in the fourth after Cleveland tried to make a comeback, but yeah, no, this game was over. The Guardians, they go from sweeping the Rangers to getting swept by the Royals. The Guardians are 9 games under 500. They're bottom 5 in home runs and OPS. It's just a pathetic season and a season from hell, in my opinion. So we've already talked about the AL West and the NL wildcard standings, so I guess the only thing to update you guys on, the Mariners and the Rangers are still tied for that final wildcard spot, and the Blue Jays, because they won 5 games in a row, they're still cruising, but I guess everyone's winning in the AL wildcard right now. All right, today's Immaculate Grid, we have the Rockies and the Mets. Wasn't Daniel Murphy on the Rockies for quite some time? Daniel Murphy, what is that? 16%? Okay, a lot of people have the same idea. The Royals and the Mets. The Royals and the Mets. I'm thinking of someone like Chasen Shreve, but I don't know if he was on the Royals. 3,000 career strikeouts for the Mets. I'm going to go Tom Seaver. I know for a fact that he was on the Mets, and that's going to be 45% my rarity score. I'm not even going to think about it today. The Rockies and the Braves. Rockies and the Braves. No one's coming to my mind right now. The Braves and the Royals. That is easy. Jorge. Actually, you know what? Did Drew Waters make his debut? I want to go Drew Waters, actually, but no, I'm going to go Jorge Soler. That's going to be an easy one, 25%. 3,000 strikeouts for the Braves. Didn't Greg Maddux, I know Greg Maddux pitched a long time. Did he get to 3,000? He did 58%. My goodness. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of getting stumped on some of these. 3,000 strikeouts for the Dodgers. I mean, this shouldn't be that hard, right? But it's kind of hard. Didn't Pedro Martinez start his career with the Dodgers? I'm almost positive that he was like one of the worst trades of all time. Yep. Pedro Martinez with the Dodgers. All right, let's see. A Royal and a Met. What about someone from back in the day? Beltran. I know Carlos Beltran was on both teams. 31%. Okay, so I should have gotten that a lot sooner. The Rockies and the Braves. There's got to be someone. Who is that one? That one freakishly tall guy who can actually... He's pretty quick. Sam Hilliard. Wasn't he on both teams? 2%. I don't know if Sam Hilliard has played a lot in 2023. A Rocky and a Dodger. Who's played for both teams? Oh, God. How do I not get these picks off the rip? How did I just forget that Zach Greinke won a Cy Young with the Royals? So he's 69%. This is a very bad rarity score. And then I just got to think of a Rocky and a Dodger. As soon as I ended that sentence, I thought of one. If you guys don't remember, Matt Kemp had a short stint with the Rockies, and he was 20%. So that wasn't good. I appreciate you guys watching today's recap, and thank you so much for your support when I was facing off against Stephen A. Smith yesterday. The community support was insane. You guys rallied behind me, so if you want to see that full video, leave a like, click that subscribe button, and I'll put that out for you guys. Thanks for watching.